For over 60 years, the Glenn Jones name has been recognized for integrity and honesty.
And the Jones Auto Center's in Wickenburg.
Jones Ford Verde Valley.
Take a nice country drive out to Buckeye.
When you're talking about Arizona's best, you're talking about the Jones Auto Group. It's quick, fast, strong.
I want to invite you to visit our new facility in Casa Grande and enjoy our country-style way of doing business. We're the Joneses.
All right, welcome back to the Son of a Source podcast presented by Jones Auto Centers. Really special opportunity today. We're going to be talking with Scott Miller, his son, Carson Miller. You're going to see them on the left of the screen. Scott's in white, Carson's in gray. On the right of the screen, we have Jake Hildebrand, the number one prospect in ASU in the 2027 class, recently committed to ASU out of Basha High School, and his parents, Joe and Shauna Hildebrand. And there's a big announcement that's happening here. That's an NIL related event that's taking ASU's golden ticket campaign, which started with Jake Hildebrand a year ago when he was one of a handful of prospects locally to receive the golden ticket that conferred a special interest in a recruit, which he became the first golden ticket recipient to commit to ASU. We're now going to see this go to a whole new level with the help of Scott Miller and his company, Cable Shopping Network, and CSNMint.com. So first, welcome to all of you, and thanks for joining us on this podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. So Scott, why don't you tell me about exactly what this is, what you're doing, and how this kind of came to be, this idea that you have?
Well, Kenny came to town on a big wave and throwing a lot of slogans out there. Activate the Valley. He came up with the golden ticket moniker, where he really wanted to focus on in-state recruiting and let kids know that, hey, we're really interested in you. We really want you to come join us here at ASU, and we're going to issue you a golden ticket. He took a couple years to kind of put that together, and honestly, I think the first phone call was when he issued it to Jake. I saw a digital ticket on, I think it was Instagram, and I called him up. I'm like, hey, knucklehead. By the way, there's a long history with Kenny and I before that. And I said, you forget what I do for a living, right? And he goes, oh my God, can you do something with the golden tickets? I said, absolutely. I can actually make real golden tickets. So that's really where it started. And we were trying to put the program together. It took a little bit of time, but we finally got something to go. And we're ad-libbing a little bit on the golden ticket. We took it to another level. You're about to see that. But we're real proud to be a part of it. It's exactly what we do. So it seemed like a no-brainer for us to kind of say, hey, I need to step in and be a part of this golden ticket program.
Yeah. So explain exactly what you do at CSN Mint. I know you guys, your office there is at the Scottsdale Air Park. Jake went up there as a part of you formalizing this relationship, right? So what exactly is going to be entailed by this program, and how are you guys going to do all this together?
So CSN, Cable Shopping Network, we started about a little over 25 years ago. We got involved in the collectible coins business, rare numismatics, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, currency, rare currency, rare coins, one-off stuff, numbered stuff. That's who we are. That's what we do. With the golden ticket program, we are now creating a real limited, low number opportunity for Jake and the NIL program, where we're going to give Jake a coin. He's going to get one of 5. And our relationship with Jake is he's going to help us promote the coins in CSN. And these coins are going to be numbered 1 to 5. So from a collectability standpoint in my business, that's a real small number. Jake's going to sign the back of it, so his signature is going to be on it. And like I said, we're real proud to be a part of his journey and where he's going to go. And we hope in 3-4 years that he may be in another city with a different helmet on playing on Sundays. And someday one of these guys will be looking at the coin that they were able to acquire with his signature on the back of it. And it will be probably, Jake, probably your earliest memorabilia piece that you ever signed. So there's some great intrinsic value here. There's some great collectability value here. And frankly, there's just rarity off the charts. So yeah, it's exactly what we do.
So 5 1-ounce coins. Jake will sign the coin, like not literally, but his signature.
The
Right.
label, yes.
Okay. He will sign the label. And then how will fans, people who are interested in these collectibles be able, what is the process by which they could acquire one? Is this going to be like an auction, or are people going to have a silent bidding, or what would that look like?
It's going to go to various platforms. I mean, for the general public, the easiest place is probably going to be eBay, but it will be some private auction houses, and frankly, it's going to go out to the donor base and whatnot. So we really want to say, hey, we're here, we're a part of this. We want to bring the donor base in to be a part of it as well. So yeah, it's going to be a gold eagle. So in American coinage, the eagle program is silver eagle, gold eagle, platinum eagle, palladium eagle. Those are our bullion coins. That's what's traded as American bullion, which is traded around the world. And the most traded coin of the 4 or 5 is the silver eagle, then the gold eagle. Obviously, silver eagle is a little bit different price structure to get involved with than a gold eagle in today's markets. But we're here to create this opportunity and create demand, and really just create awareness with the other businesses in town, saying it's time to back the program. Mm-hmm. We've got a wonderful coach, a coach I think who's proven in this past off season that he's extremely loyal to ASU, and it's time for us to step up and support what he's got going on down there.
So Jake, what does this feel like for you? You became the first. We talked about this at Basha when you committed. You were the first #1 prospect to commit to ASU since N'Keal Harry in 2016. This is a very rare thing. And you've really openly talked about your interest in activating the Valley. You've been on social media trying to promote ASU in a really positive light with other recruits and fans. How did this opportunity come about, and how does it feel to be presented with such an opportunity?
Yeah, it feels great. Being able to, have these different businesses around, the Valley and stuff like that, so I can partner with them to create awareness. Is the biggest thing with me, because I want to show, Arizona isn't just good at football. We have great businesses. It's just a great state overall. It came about, Coach Dillingham, he told me about the opportunity that happened, and I was all on board with it. First kind of NIL thing that I'm able to do, someone my age. So, yeah, truly a blessing.
How does it feel just knowing that there's going to be a gold coin, a 1-ounce gold coin, that's going to be made specifically to celebrate and promote your presence on ASU's football team?
It was great, because growing up, I always would collect like football cards, baseball cards, different Pokemon cards or something like that. Just, as a kid seeing this, and then now having my own that I can have is crazy, because this is definitely way more of a step up than, sports cards or anything like that. So, in reality, having it real now for me is just really, really cool.
When you first heard about this idea, like what went through your mind, and seeing it now today become closer to a reality, what has this been like?
It's been really cool. I've been able to, be with my family and be like, hey, this is all coming to me now as a 17-year-old kid. I still have so much more to do. This is just the beginning. I hope later in life I can get, more and stuff like that, show more awareness. But for sure right now, this is really, really amazing.
Shauna, I wanted to ask you, what has this felt like for you? You've known for years now that your son is one of the best football players in the state in his age group. But to see some of these things be realized, the state championship, being first in his class in Arizona in rankings, to commit to ASU, the hometown hero thing, the media coming out to support, the fan base reaction being what it's been in the community today. Like, how do you summarize how this has felt for you?
As a mom, the best way to summarize it would be an absolute blessing to have incredible people like this company coming forward and seeing our son the way they do. But more importantly, it's something that's tangible in front of all of the athletes here in Arizona. Yes, it should come from the heart and not always driven by monetary things. But like we've heard a really great slogan, say it correctly, bear with me. If you're going to collect anything, collect coins, collect money, collect something of value. And that's exactly what this business creates. And they've been incredibly thoughtful and generous with Jake with this. And other kids will see that and realize, you know what? I don't have to leave the state. I will shine here just as brightly as these coins shine when they're being shown to different, perspective customers, excuse me. But more than that, though, the principle of work smart, work hard, never give up on yourself or your team, it really aligns with activating the Valley. Never give up. When you have a coach like Coach Dillingham, who's been like Coach Mons, or even some of the trainers that he's had from Renner and Ron Sowers to youth coaches from Argos, Future You name it. This whole collective in the Valley have rallied around not only our son, but so many of these athletes. And this will just be a great segue and opportunity that will really shine brightly on these athletes to see the importance of staying here. And let's continue to activate the Valley and grow the Valley and keep that talent here. And you know what? I don't think it'll take very long. We'll be taking on the SEC and kicking the bottom.
Let's go.
Just saying.
Yeah.
For over 60 years, the Glenn Jones name has been recognized for integrity and honesty.
And the Jones Auto Center's in Wickenburg.
Jones Ford, Verde Valley.
Take a nice country drive out the Buckeyes.
When you're talking about Arizona's best, you're talking about the Jones Auto Group. It's quick, fast, strong.
I want to invite you to visit our new facility in Casa Grande and enjoy our country-style way of doing business. We're the Joneses.
Joe, you said a lot of very touching things at Jake's commitment announcement at Basha several weeks ago. I was struck by the emotion that you felt and the pride, I think, that really came across. And could you just share with us for our audience in this format, how you feel about seeing your son get these types of opportunities, given how hard that he's worked to be able to get to this point?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to say thank you, Scott, for having us here and this honor. We're truly, truly blessed. And I know Jake feels that same thing.
We're blessed to be a part of this trial.
But it's amazing to see how not just everybody in the Valley, as Jake's made this commitment, that they're coming out. And I think a lot of people don't realize how strong people feel about ASU sports and the university. And we're starting to feel more and more of that just being involved in this. Somebody like Scott coming up, stepping up with his company to support not just Jake, but the upcoming class with the golden ticket coming up with this idea is going to just give one more, just a stepping stone for these athletes here in Arizona to truly understand you don't have to go around the country. ASU has everything that anybody would ever want,
Yeah.
Try to keep from getting emotional, but it's just it's a crazy thing to think when, he was 2-3 years old that he would get to this point with all his hard work is truly awesome, and being part of this. And I can't wait to see this next class. I know some of the
the kids that they're probably going to look at, because, you know, we are around a lot of these kids.
Sure.
We know where ASU's kind of, you know, the athletes that they're kind of looking at and who's earned it, who's put the time and effort in it, just like Jake has, that they don't need to go anywhere. They need to stay here, activate the Valley, and be part of stuff like this. Things like this, different companies around here in Phoenix will be able to do for them, but also just to keep the talent here and show we don't have to go to Texas. We don't have to go to Florida. We have so many true athletes here that put the work in that Arizona is really going to start showing the country that ASU is going to be a huge part of all sports. You know, they just did such a great job in softball and baseball. Their basketball team is growing. So we're just truly blessed to be part of the whole ASU community and the Arizona community.
Chris, if I can jump in for 2 seconds. Now that you just talked to them, you can understand why we're excited to be involved with Jake and his family. They're tremendous people. I had an amazing conversation with Shauna. I think I was up in Denver, but like
You were.
4 or 5 days ago. It was an amazing conversation. And then I spoke to Jake, and it was really easy to understand where Jake gets it from. And now meet with Joe. He's got tremendous parents, and he's just a tremendous young man, and we're excited to be a part of this.
Jake, you had said to me that the golden ticket was special to you, especially in its first year of ASU football and Kenny Dillingham doing that. Do you think that the gold coins, an actual golden ticket with real gold that could go out to some of these future recruits, do you think that really elevates the feeling and what being a recipient of a gold ticket would mean to recruits?
Yeah, I definitely will, because, you know, putting something tangible behind, you know, something like the golden ticket. So it shows kids like, hey, you know, the golden ticket means something. It can mean, yeah, I'm one of the top people that Arizona State wants, but also there's something tangible. There's a coin, there's a golden ticket that I'm literally getting, you know, in response to, you know, being one of the best in the state. So definitely shows that you don't have to, again, leave. You know, we're putting something tangible. We're giving you something that has actual value to it. You know, being able to keep the kids home.
Sure. I also kind of wanted to get into like the backstory of just your family history, Scott. So your wife's grandfather, Don Kinzel, was the first AD at ASU going back to like the 1950s. Is that correct? And your wife's father played tight end at ASU under Dan Devine and later Frank Cush.
Yes.
And you and your son and your daughter went to ASU. Your son played for Jason Mons. Your Kenny Dillingham was involved in some capacity with the coaching one of your sons. And so, yeah, can you just, like, all of this family history, can you just kind of walk us through that?
Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of touched on all of it. I mean, like, literally, Carson's great-grandfather was the first athletic director at Arizona State University. He was involved, and Carson can tell the story, but he was involved in changing the name from Bulldogs to Sun Devils. He helped build the original football stadium. I don't know if it was called Sun Devil Stadium at that particular time. Why am I blanking that? I used to know that name, but he got that stadium built. And the reason why you look up and see fireworks when we score touchdowns was one of his doings as well. So there's a lot of legacy there. Jim Poplowski, Carson's grandfather, was tight end at Arizona State. He was actually involved in along with the rest of the football team, but Coach Cush took him up to Camp T, or what was a plot of land and trees and forest, and said, we're going to make a football camp out of this. And by the way, you guys are going to drag these tree stumps across this field, and we're going to flatten it out and turn it into a football field. That was their training camp on the very first summer building Camp T. And I went to ASU. My son Carson here went to ASU. My daughter went to ASU. A fun background with both Coach Kenny and Coach Jason. It's ironically, Jake played for Argos up in Scottsdale, Argonauts. My son played at played for the Scottsdale Argonauts, so he played for Coach Jason way back in the early days of youth ball. And then he followed Coach Jay over to Saguaro, had some fun there. He played with a couple of guys that are currently playing in the NFL and got a couple of state championship rings while he was at Saguaro. And here we are. It's kind of a full circle moment. It's a lot of fun. It's great. It's great to be involved.
Well, how does this feel then when you're putting something that has a material and meaningful value into trying to support and grow ASU football in this NIL space, which has become so important in the current landscape of college athletics?
Well, from my point of view, sitting on the couch watching everything that's going on, it's kind of like the Wild Wild West out there. There's money flying left and right. You don't know what it's going to or who it's going to, or if it's really tied to this and what's the value and who's getting what for what they're doing. So this was an opportunity, and some conversations I had with some people behind the scenes to bring a real NIL program, providing a real tangible item. So not only is Jake, and we're going to, that's part of this. We're going to be talking to Jake and telling him all about the rarity and scarcity of collectible coins and vintages from Carson City dollars from the Old West. He's going to hear 1,000 stories from us. He's going to understand what it means to, put some of this stuff away, forget about it, kind of educate them and really be involved in that journey with them, as well as to kind of bring an awareness to the NIL program, real tangible items. So now there's going to be 4 coins that are going to hit the market. They're going to be numbered. They're going to be signed by Jake. So that particular donor, that particular collector, that particular sports enthusiast who's going to say, hey, man, this young man might be in the league 4 years from now. I'm willing to take a risk on that signature. They're not just stroking a check and the money's going away. They're actually getting something back, real value back. Mm-hmm. And that's the way the NIL program's supposed to work. So that's what we're excited to step into and continue to create this program and grow this program.
Yeah. So what are the remaining steps in this process, and when do you think that people will be able to go and try to purchase one of these coins?
Well, as we joked early on, it's been moving really quick. I have a coin literally sitting right here that's going to represent the actual coin that's going in the holder with Jake's signature and his name on it. It still needs to go up to the coin grading service, be reholdered. That process this coin's getting overnighted today. So it literally could be back here Friday. Probably next week we'll be able to really put the coin out there, show people exactly what's happened, and make our official announcements, although I think it's happening right now.
Yeah. I can imagine that this is something that probably around the country, a lot of places would try to steal the idea or figure out a way to do something similar. But the business that you own creates a unique thing. Like, it's going to be hard for anybody to probably replicate or be able to do things like this because of the specific advantages that you have of the business that you own. Is that a correct assessment?
Well, like in any industry, obviously there's competition out there and there's other dealers out there. What gives us a unique advantage is that we can individually number these things. Certainly somebody can find a gold eagle and they can probably get it slabbed and put Jake's name on it, but we're going to create a different aspect to the collectability, which makes it even rarer and more desirable.
Cool. Well, awesome. Jake, again, just how is today feeling for you to be able to see all this stuff in person and get this type of a in-person experience?
Yeah, it's really just so real. Again, like I said, being able to be one of the first kids to ever really do this first in the state and take this initiative to create something that really is tangible for, the golden ticket. I touched on it again, but, seeing as a kid going and collecting, sports cards and stuff like that, getting those graded, to this being a step up from, massive step up from that now. So just being in the moment and actually having this really happen having only 5 of these that are ever going to basically go out is really, really cool and amazing to me.
Well, one of the things that I really respect about you, Jake, and things that you said, Joe, a recognition that this is like a new starting point also in a lot of respects. That you guys are very comfortable saying that nothing has been accomplished in college and you have to have the same work ethic and mentality and passion and desire, even maybe at a higher level, to accomplish the same things in college and then beyond college. So I was very struck by the messaging and the humility that was expressed from you at the announcement at Basha and even today. So I want to thank all of you for sharing this with us. And I think ASU fans are going to find this extremely insightful and something that they're going to be pretty fired up about as well. So appreciate your time.